Today, the way you make them, if you're indoors and you don't have a grill, and it's a lot, 4 racks of ribs. But in my house, if I don't make enough ribs, it's actually worse than not making ribs at all, because I've got to have enough. And I learned that the hard way. And in fact, the last time I went and bought ribs, before I left the house, one of the guys were like, "You're going to buy enough, aren't you?" So the pressure's on, so I just make a ton. Now I'm going to pull this little piece of bread out of my brown sugar because it keeps the brown sugar soft, and we all need that with our brown sugar. I have about 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of paprika. I know it seems like a lot, but if you don't have smoke and you don't have fire, you got to build your flavor elsewhere. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm making a rub. This rub is smoky, flavorful, and it's going to trick us into thinking that we were outside, even though we're not. A tablespoon of salt, a good heaping tablespoon of salt. Remember, I have a lot of ribs here. And one of my little secret ingredients, a tablespoon of cocoa. Again, bringing in that mysterious flavor. 2 teaspoons cayenne. I like it a little spicy. If you're saying I would never do that, then just do 1 teaspoon of cayenne. And last but not least, a teaspoon of cumin. Kind of important in most rubs. Now, very, very quickly, I'm going to get this through. The reason we're doing this is because we want to make sure that we get all the lumps out of the sugar. And it should be no problem if you just put it through a sieve like this. Perfect. That way you have more to spread. And just stir it up a little bit because you can see that some of it's still not completely combined. It really smells a little bit smoky, and I have nothing smoked in there. Okay, 4 racks. Now, I am just going to quickly sprinkle like this. Now remember, I'm going to do both sides. And don't worry, this isn't all I'm doing. I'm going to rub this seasoning in just like a proper rub. So I'll leave a little bit for the other side. And you have to really rub. Otherwise, it doesn't get on every piece. And that's another thing. You want your flavor on every single rib. So 350 degrees for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Then I crank up the oven and I cook for about 20 minutes more, but you watch it at that point because there's some sugar on those ribs. A rub with sugar and salt and pepper and cumin and a secret ingredient, cocoa powder, which gives it a little bit of a smoky, earthy flavor. Calder's putting on some sauce. We have barbecue sauce. You can get your favorite barbecue sauce at the store, or you can make your own kind. It doesn't matter, depends on where you're at and what's going on in your life, but we want that extra layer of flavor. 425 degrees for about another 15 minutes. Once you get that in, are you good over there?
Yep, almost done.
Make sure that you coat the whole thing. You don't have to go underneath if you don't want. So when Calder gets that in the oven.
Mom, this oven is at 425 now, up from 350?
Yep, 425 because we want to concentrate those sugars a little bit, get some caramelization. We're all trying to emulate what would happen if we were on a barbecue. And we're not. We're just in the kitchen.
And for how much longer?
So I would say about 15 minutes, but you could take a look at it. And if for some reason it hasn't, done its thing, then just do it a little bit longer. Our ribs are completely finished, and Calder's cutting them up right now, and they smell really good. You're not supposed to eat them until you get them all cut. So can you handle that?
Maybe.